Well, hello friends, frustrated gardening mama coming back at you. Whew, I don't know how this is possible. Thank you to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Click the first link in the description below to take the quiz and use my code JMorell for 50% off your first order. We've had a day. We've had a day already. So I have a family member who has needed quite a bit of dental things done. I had their appointment made 2 months ago. We're gonna get to gardening, but you gotta hear my mama frustrations first, okay? Thank you for listening. Had the whole day planned to take this family member to do the dental work. And then I thought, okay, well by this afternoon, we'll be home. I figured the rest of the kids were home with Travis and doing schoolwork. They know what to do. They just weren't having heavy read aloud mom time today. That is okay. That was the day. And I had 2 phone calls from this dentist yesterday. Now, I can't always answer the phone. And they kept calling me during our school time. I was doing a lot, reading to the kids. I couldn't get back to call them until, so you're gonna hear about my dentist now too. They better recognize, okay. So, I had mama all fired up this morning. I could not call them back until after their business time. I had time to call, so I called them this morning. They canceled our appointment, but I didn't know about it until this morning when I had the person ready. We were going. They canceled it. Now this dentist for the last 8 years has set the precedent. They have always sent me a text message to confirm the appointments, and we even schedule and go back and forth. It's all been via text. So I was really upset. If you've never seen Upset J. Morell, I was upset J. Morell this morning because I told him we had our child care set up. I mean, they don't need to know that's my husband, but that's okay. Like, the day was planned. I had other people set up. We were getting ready to drive 45 minutes to come to you because we prefer your service and we know you can handle this situation. You've always texted me and you just canceled it on me. Like as if I wasn't a busy mom that had my life set up around this too. So you have to hear about that in today's Homestead Mama video and whatever else we get into. We're gonna garden. Kids are out in the sunshine. It's almost 1 now. I really need to get cleaned up in an hour. I've been doing some business stuff, that files that needed uploaded. Sent Travis for newspaper for my new lasagna garden. That's what we're gonna do with the new garden areas. We're doing lasagna gardening, and no, it's not growing lasagna noodles, but it's the way that we're gonna layer newspaper. And we're using hay instead of straw because I got a lot of those round bales of hay that have just been waiting. And I know hay is not always preferred, straw is preferred, but hay will work. It's okay. It just might grow things that we'll pull up. We have it. And then we put compost on top. But first, we got the cardboard down a few days ago. I've been doing a lot of garden things. I believe in a video recently I showed you all the cardboard. Okay, so anyway, we got the wood chips yesterday. Travis got 3 loads. It was like $5 a scoop, $15 a load. This is great. No, the wood chip thing that Becky talks about does not work in my area. I'm sorry. I know I'll have a few of you tell me about that, but no, I've signed up for it. I've tried. I've paid the money. I've tried to like pay extra donations to get them. It just hasn't come. So we got a good deal. Travis just has to drive 30 to 40 minutes each way to get it, but that's okay. $15 a load. So it averages out with gas. It's great. So we've got several things to do in the garden. Even though me starting tomatoes was a flop, I know. We're just moving on now. I have a lot of other seeds to get started. I have a lot of other things growing in the gardens. And a lot of other gardening projects coming up. So even though we only have an hour now, we're gonna get out there. I'm gonna work on getting started on seeds, and we're gonna work on hauling the wood chips over and getting them in the pathways. And then hopefully, we've had a newspaper bundle saga too. So I'll tell you my newspaper bundle saga while we walk outside so you got something else to look at. So I called our local office because I was like, where in this day and age do we get tons of newspaper? We could also use cardboard in this lasagna gardening method, but all the cardboard that we have been saving for months and months is in the garden rows. And Travis had a good point, because I was saying, okay, well maybe I just need to move it. Maybe I just need to move all that cardboard to this new garden area. He said no, to not undo all that work that we did, we would do another method. So with the lasagna gardening, we can do, you either layer cardboard down or newspaper. And then the question is, where do you get the newspaper? Because who sells newspapers? So we sent Travis on his first goose chase. Well, I was dealing with a dentist and life. First goose chase, I was like, just go to 7-Eleven, go to 2 7-Elevens, just buy a big stack of papers at each. They don't actually have newspapers there anymore. He went to Food Lion, they had one paper. So I said, okay, let's call our newspaper company in our city. Surely they sell old papers. So I called them. They have 2 offices. One is 20 minutes away. You need to know this geography. The other one's 40 minutes away. The 40-minute away office picked up and told me, yes, you can buy bundles of old newspapers, no problem. It'll be like $5 a bundle, buy as many bundles as you want. We'll get those ready for you, no problem. And she said I could go to either office and I could go to the location that's closer to me. So goose chase number 2 for Travis, I sent him to the closer office and they told him they don't sell bundles of papers. So then I called, this is what I've been doing with my time today. I called the other office where I talked to the nice lady who told me I could go anywhere and buy the bundles, but anywhere between the 2 offices, and she said, tell him to walk right back in and tell them to call Susie at the 40-minute away office, and I will tell them they need to sell him papers, because even though they don't print papers there anymore, they still have them and they can still sell them. And I said, okay. So I've now sent him text messages. Hopefully he gets that and comes home with bundles of paper. So here's our cardboard from the pathways. We will not necessarily even get to spread out newspaper today, but we've started this goose chase and we're on it. And I'm looking at my different beds here. Thanks again to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click that first link in the description below, take the quiz, and use my code JMorell for 50% off your first order. So you can see here, friends, that for Care Of, I have their electrolyte dietary supplement packs. These are nice because they can just go into a nice big jug of water. And then I love to put collagen in my coffee in the morning. There's no taste to it. For this particular collagen, it says mix 2 scoops in 8 to 10 ounces of hot coffee and stir vigorously. Also works in hot tea, smoothies, or juice. For best results, use daily. This is gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and it's a great collagen. Yay! Along with that, they have these really helpful gut check on-the-go probiotics for digestion. Those, you don't even need to mix them with anything. You can just pop it in your mouth, and I've got a pack of 5 of those. Now, one of the things I love most about Care Of is they have this really fun quiz that you can take, and they design these daily vitamin packs based on what your unique needs are. So when I took the quiz, it came out that I need cranberry because cranberry is good for us. Also, I chose to have a probiotic blend. I like to get probiotics in my diet as much as possible. Also, vitamin D, because I'm always making sure my vitamin D levels are where they need to be. And a prenatal vitamin, because for the past 20 years, I'm either pregnant or potentially going to be pregnant or breastfeeding or coming out of breastfeeding. So women's bodies do a lot. So I just stay on a prenatal vitamin. And that's what came up in my quiz for Care Of. Now I love how they have these little cute custom packs. You can see the packs even have my name on it because they were packaged just for me. And look, every pack even has a fun little fact on it. Like, did you know every 10 days your taste buds are regenerated? I didn't know that. We just learned something here. Look at us. Thanks again to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the first link in the description below to take your Care Of quiz and use my code JMorell for 50% off your first order. So here's how things are looking. I was going to do tarp over all of this to kill things, I'm probably just going to put newspaper down. So newspaper is good because it helps encourage the earthworms will eat the paper and all these good things. I'm going to move these containers out of the way. We're just going to expand all of this. We're going to wood chip all of these things here. The grow towers are looking oh so lovely. That's just some compost in a wheelbarrow. We've got lots of what we call Daniel's dahlias coming up. He's got lots of those planted. Our strawberries, I thought I lost almost all my strawberries, but I didn't. There are still a lot of strawberries. I did 50 between both these raised beds doing square foot gardening. Now, this one does have less, but I am seeing them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so there's less than half of what I planted. Well, maybe that's 12. So I'm thinking that many of them are still growing, even though that's not the original, 25. In here, it's a lot more, and my sage is coming up. So that is great. So we are going to do, and then here at my John Henry General Store, I went ahead and got peppers and some tomatoes to get going. I want to do, so all of this, all the way as far as the sun touches, is going to be the lasagna gardening method. Besides, I'll have a path here. And then we will lay down the newspapers and the hay. I've got over there, probably got 8 hay bales or so. Yes, newspaper, the hay, and then the compost on top. And then again, Google University, from what I've read, doing a no-dig garden method, I can just plant directly in that compost. And that is how I'm planning to do all these tomatoes, because we need to do oh so many tomatoes. We have broccoli coming up, we've got our onions, we've got our garlic, we have kale. I have 1, 2, well, and I can do some companion gardening. I have 3 beds here, 4, 5. I got 5 raised beds that I can do a lot of things in. And then I can do companion gardening. Like if this bed here truly only has 12 to 15 of those strawberry plants, there's a lot of other things I can plant in there too. And then a lot of my little containers over here, those need things planted. And then we will go in this whole new big space. And then if this goes well and we work through it, then we might start the other space that I had cleared. Will I plant it this year? Will I just be prepping it for next year? I don't know. There's a lot of sunshine over there though, so I'm just watching goats and chickens and trees. Okay, so I'm exhaling, and let's make the most of this hour, and hopefully when I get home this evening we can do a lot of gardening too. Travis was victorious. He did return with a stack of newspapers that I think is going to be what we need for this area. That was very exciting, but he did have a yeehaw time with that. So thank you, Brittany, from the second farther away office, because she fought for us to get those newspapers. I didn't know it was a hard thing. The reason we're going with newspapers, again, you can do the lasagna gardening with cardboard. It's just, we've exhausted our cardboard sources. We have saved, for months, so many Amazon boxes and just everything. And that's all down in the road. So when I was reading about it this morning, I was reading you could also use newspaper, and I thought, that can't be that difficult. But we've worked through it. So what is this? I know, what are we even doing here? And I've gone through my seeds several times, but I was trying to work through the seeds that can be direct sown now, because in Virginia, right around Mother's Day, our last frost has come and gone, fingers crossed, and we can get a lot more things in the ground. I'm also going to do carrots and radishes. I even have some of, I don't know how this is possible, we've got lettuce coming back from last year. I guess that means it reseeded itself. So we have volunteer lettuce, and then we have my Picture This app. I saw these other little leaves coming up. I'm like, what is this? And what did it tell me? I think it told me it was pumpkin, but it was in an odd space. I don't remember pumpkin being there. But whatever. Hello nature, hello garden. It's either a kind of squash or pumpkin that probably composted in place. I don't know, again, why it was there, because it's in where we have onions now. but that's okay. I'm just gonna let it be and kind of see what happens with that. So this is all my tomatoes and peppers and eggplant. Those were the ones that I know peppers and tomatoes really should be started well in advance. And so I've got Organic Gardening Friends I can buy starts from for this year, and eggplants we're reading along that way. So anyway, seeds stay for years. Now I can't keep them out in the hot sun like where I'm working with them, but they're gonna go back in a cool, dry place, and that's okay. We will play with them again earlier next winter. And then we have a whole bag of corn, and then a whole bag of different flowers. Lots of sunflowers and nasturtiums in here that we're going to direct sow. All right, so here's our stack. We also have about a quarter of this stack sitting in the van that needs to get unloaded here. But anyway, there's how the tower's doing. This is the stack of much fought for newspapers. And I am going now, but while I am gone, they will continue to work on mulching the paths, and they're gonna work on getting the newspapers down here. I don't know how far they'll get, but I gotta go now because the dentist rescheduled my life. Okay, so don't get mad, I'm at a traffic light. So we were just not meant to go to the dentist today because small town USA, who knew? I didn't know. There's major road work to get over the mountain that we need to literally cross in order to get to this dentist. There's road work, and apparently you wait 30 minutes on both sides of crossing the mountain. So we waited, didn't we? We waited. I called the dental office and they said, I'm sorry, if you're not here by this time, we don't have time, because remember, they canceled my first appointment. They rescheduled me for this afternoon one, and we've worked so hard to get here. That's okay. I had my family member who's with me, they got to pick wherever they wanted to go, and they chose 7-Eleven. So I believe a Slurpee is in order, and then we'll be heading back home to carry on with the gardening work. While I was going, the family was working on putting out, I think I showed you, but thanks for listening again. They were working on the mulch, and they were working on, or the wood chips I mean, and getting the newspapers down. So now we get to go back and join them, and that'll be good. Okay, so we are about halfway done with this new garden area with the newspapers down, and they're wet, and we have a big thing of hay over there. So here's what we have at the moment, the sea of newspapers, and this is about half done. Travis wants to wait on extending it over to that stump area. I'll show you when I get up, but there's things happening over there. Anywho, hey, look at how much we got done, and we have the hay rolled there, and we are just gonna start, because this paper, once it dries out, will roll away or get blown away. So we need to start knocking hay around also, and then get back to getting newspaper on the other half of the garden. It's easier to tell you this while we're sitting taking a break. Okay, so here's how the hay process is going. And now I am getting on my gloves, giving some additional direction, getting our plan together, and working with a pitchfork on this hay. I was using my hands to do it, and I also had some other helpers. And one of my helpers said, hey, why don't you use the pitchfork? And I thought that would be even heavier, but it wasn't. They are so smart. So Mama got the pitchfork going. It was easy to peel the hay down this way, and it's in a big roll. So then I'm able to take pitchforks full, just like a good little farmer lady, also giving direction back there to the chicken dome. And I am tossing the hay all around. Now this is a gamble. Will it work well? Will it not work well? I think it's going to be fantastic. I know there's a lot of situations where there ends up being chemicals in hay and also straw, and it's not perfect on gardens, or it kills gardens. I know that this particular hay was bought from a local farmer a little over a year ago, and our cow ate it for quite a long time. Our other animals have eaten it, which still doesn't mean it's pure and holy, but it's what I have to work with. So I'm going for it. I'm using it. Fingers crossed, prayer said. I think this is going to be great. Spoiler alert, several weeks later, I do have things planted in it, and they do seem to be going well. So that's all we can do is keep moving forward and use what we have. And this hay will potentially grow different seeds and things that were in it, but they should be pretty close to the surface and fairly easy to pull up as needed. Also, I think working in using wood chips in the rows and such should be helpful. Travis is going to take the scoop now and move the hay bale over to another area for us. And so Travis has these little forks that go on the end of his scoop, and it allows him to pick up and move these kind of hay bales for us. He is going to roll this one a bit and then pick it up and move it to the other side of the garden. So we've got at least half of it covered with the newspaper and the straw and hay. Travis is now starting with the compost. I do have another big load of compost that's supposed to be dropped off in 2 nights. So he's gonna start with what we have left, which is behind this tree. That's what's left of our wood chips so far. I will show you later how the pathways look. You found Mario, that's so great. Anyway, so things are happening. Okay, so here's the process so far. So we're putting newspapers down. We got the other half to do. And then we are coming through with a hose and getting them wet. And then we're putting our hay on top. So this is our, we were happy when I said lasagna garden, you thought maybe it might grow lasagnas, huh?
Yeah.
That would be fun. We knew not real lasagnas, but it just means the layering. It's a fun way to try it for this year. Okay, so the compost is continuing. The newspaper's continuing over there. I was just talking to our contractor friend. Okay, so I thought this was a pretty good view. It shows all 3 layers. So we've got the newspaper that's over there, and then on top of the newspaper is the hay or the straw, and then the compost. Now we actually have 2 more loads of compost that are coming. 1 load's coming Saturday, 1 load is coming probably on Monday. And we're gonna push all that down and stuff. We're gonna water all of this tonight, and it'll be great for it to just sit here and like it and be wet and cook down for a few days before I'll start planting in it next week. So we're gonna now get hay down here, and then like I said, we'll get it all wet from there. But good vision on how the garden is coming, more than doubling the space. And then here, this is the part I'll just tease Travis about all summer. I need this strip too, but he has a good goal. He wants to call around and work on getting those stumps ground still, and then I'll have this space. So I won't be a crybaby, but a little playful banter there, right? But this is how it's looking. Okay, so Travis has just dropped another bale for us. You're unrolling it. Okay, we've all been working hard today. Mama is supervising. Once he's done spreading it out over there, I'm gonna go over it with the hose and get it all wetted down. Travis is down moving some logs and other things with his tractor now. So we got the hay finished here. I'm having the sprinkler attachment added to the hose, and they're just gonna set that in the middle of the garden and turn it on. I'm gonna sit here and supervise it a little bit. Then we'll water the rest of the garden, and I'm hopeful, I'm recouping my energy here. I'm hopeful that, let's get some seeds planted tonight. Yes. So this is my idea of a good time. Sitting in my chair, sitting in the shade, watching the sprinkler go back and forth. And it's mostly quiet. Okay, so we've been watering everything down. I just want to walk over here and show you. I need to move the sprinkler again, but I want to show you how the pathways are looking, because they got a bunch of that done while I was gone today. So that is looking nice. There's still some areas I see some boxes popping up, but not much at all. And so we will, well, in a lot of this can be raked out more to cover up some of these little box areas, but there's gonna be, oh look, we have broccoli, we have things doing things. But it's a good first layer on these pathways, so that is super. And then here's how the lasagna garden is looking in this direction. And here's just a little barnyard look. We have our down tree that, again, that tree has been there for over 2 years now, and it's perfect shade and walking fun for the animals. We've got one of our sheep out there, some random roosters. Here comes a little goatie. She sees me, so she's like, oh, mommy's here. Maybe this means more food in the middle of the day. So the barnyard area is a big fenced-in open area that we let our different goats and sheep and chickens and poultry out into during the day. And they have lots of things that grow up in here to freshly eat. In the winter, it dies down to nothing, but it's still space to roam around in. And they have lots of fun out here. And so this is how the garden is looking now after getting all of those wood chips down in the pathways. Now, I have heard that we need to have a good 5 to 6 inches of wood chips, and we are going to do a few more truckloads full. I want to have a big pile that we can use in the garden for next year as well. But this is how it's looking now by the time we're getting closer to evening. Happy new day. Hey, let's go outside and see the big truck. Show him where you want him to dump it, Trav, because he might be trying to dump it right there. We have a big dump truck. You see the big dump truck? Big dump truck of compost came. Oh boy, Tobin and I, we were gonna sit and watch the dump truck. What more would we want on a Saturday morning than to watch a dump truck? I'm so excited. So this is how we're supposed to get a lot of rain today. And then we got more compost coming. Here, sweetie, you go in that chair. Good. Hopefully they bring it over and dump it for us. Whoa, happy day, happy Saturday. He's got his little, you got your little ambulance there? Oh, wow. Oh, he's gonna dump it. Wow. Are you so excited? Dump truck. Whoa. There it goes. All that good compost. Woo, Tobin. Nice. So he just said he's going to get our second load now, which is perfect because again, it's going to rain today, but tomorrow we're having a dedicated gardening day, aren't we? Be fun, get stuff done. Here's our first pile. So this is what a dump truck load looks like. Roosters are talking to us a lot. And so he's gonna bring us, although when I'm standing here, I'm like, I don't know if this is a lot or not, but it is. He's gonna bring another load. So with the first load that we finished, we got a layer in all of our raised beds and pots and all of these things. And then we got about 1/3 of this done. And of course, you know, there's hills and valleys. We're gonna work on smoothing it all out whenever we work on getting these other loads on there. But this is how the garden is looking today. It's been a few days. See, our dahlias are coming up more. Strawberries are looking really good in here. Oh, look, we got a little bud. I'm so excited. I have not gotten any other seeds done like I was hoping, but again, tomorrow's going to be a dedicated gardening day, and I hope to pull those things together, like getting those peppers and tomatoes in, getting seeds in. Travis will work with his equipment as far as getting our top layer here all worked out. A lot of flowers in this bed. My 8-year-old and 10-year-old planted all of that. Just marigolds in this one. So this one, this one, this one. And then I think that far one over there all need a lot of things planted. And then I plan to also go back and work on companion planting. Just there's more things I can fit in these strawberry beds, especially, but even this one, I see more perking up. So the rain has been so good for us, and we're just moving along. Here's how the broccoli is doing, and I believe this is dinosaur kale we have down here. These are chives from last year that have come back. Thank you, chives. So the rain will be so good. I didn't show it, but I did do fish fertilizer over here the other day too, which is just helpful in the process. And here's our strawberries doing happy things over here. And then we got Travis got lots of good mowing done. yesterday, so our nice little family circle out here is mowed. We've done lots of little pots of flowers. So thank you all for hanging out with me and watching all of my homestead mama, gardening adventures, and whatever else it is that we're doing here. So I appreciate you, and I will see you with another new video as soon as possible. Bye-bye. Oh, and bonus footage. So I only got 4 of these full so far, but this is the little dollar store planter. I think we got it at Dollar Tree. And I do have 4 more layers to put on top of this. I just ran out of plants the other day. So I got these plants in there, and they're perking up. They're looking really good. I'm excited for them to get a bunch of rain this weekend. But this is how the little Dollar Tree planter is looking as well. So yay, Dollar Tree. Thanks again so much to Care Of for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the first link in the description below to take the quiz and use my code JMorell for 50% off your first order.